As we build trust among our patients, Neuropedia flourished and we started getting bigger. And this year in May, we opened a new center in Sharjah. So we have 2 Neuropedia centers in Dubai and 1 in Sharjah. And in 40 years, UAE has become the hub of medical tourism and also the hub of tertiary and quaternary medical services in the region.
Welcome everyone with your program Pearls of Yunnan, who unveil the most successful story and person here in UAE. Today from Dubai City with Dr. Arif Khan, the founder and COO and the medical director of Neuropedia Clinic. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you, Dora. Thank you for having me on the show.
We are so happy to meet you today, doctor.
Pleasure is all mine.
So today we need to speak about your successful story in UAE, especially from the beginning. We need to know more details about you to present you for everyone.
Sure, absolutely. Let's go ahead. So I'll start off with my background, maybe. So I was born in India, but I migrated to Dubai when I was 1 year old. And since then, my early childhood, my schooling, my primary, secondary school happened in Dubai. So I was in Dubai in the 70s and 80s, and I have seen what Dubai has become over the last 45 years of my life. And after finishing my schooling here, I went to India briefly for my medical school and then moved to UK. I've probably been in about 7 or 8 different cities in the UK, and finally Nottingham was where I settled down as a consultant pediatric neurologist. In 2015, I decided to come back to Dubai with a primary aim of developing the first children's neuroscience center in the region. And by 2017, we had Neuropedia opened. So it's been good 5 years now, and we have seen close to 8,000 children, treated them successfully, and we have spread awareness of these medical cases, neurological cases, psychological cases among the local population. So here I am. Along with that, I also provide services. I'm the director of pediatric neuroscience for Burjeel Group, and I'm also the visiting consultant at King's College Hospital in Dubai. So that's my clinical workload.
Sure, doctor, that you have some person who help you, who support you from the first step to be in this level today. Who's this person?
I would say in terms of support, it was my mother. My mother, I mean, in those days, they were coming off education very early. So she couldn't pursue her success with education. So she pushed me a lot in learning and educating myself. And I was motivated by my father. So I would give all this credit to my parents who made me the person I am. And as I moved on, I got married, and in 2004, my wife is an obstetric consultant, the chief of gynecology and obstetrics at American Hospital in Dubai. And she was the one who actually even further motivated me to develop something like this in Dubai. So I would say my parents first, followed by my wife, and here I am now.
Doctor, everyone know that the successful story is not easy to write it. You have some challenge on the life. Today, to be a doctor, to be a founder also for clinic also is not easy. What's the challenge for every step in your life?
I would start with the summary first. So, I mean, I found that when I started off, I was not sure whether this is going to be successful, but what I had was a clear idea. And I knew that this particular service doesn't exist in UAE. So it was a very niche specialty. And choosing the right people and choosing the right management leaders along with you is key here. So we didn't have huge finances or investment. I developed this from scratch in the beginning. We had a very low budget to start with. But as we saw, the demand was there, and we were providing a very honest and very clear and evidence-based medicine to children.
So today, if I ask you about UAE, I think that it's your home. you have all this successful story in UAE, in Dubai especially. So what do you think, doctor, about the medical system in this country, the supporting for the government, for everyone like a doctors or founder for clinic to be in high level medical healthy care?
Yes, I mean, you can imagine, I mean, UAE as a country is pretty young. We're looking at, I think, 40 years of UAE's existence, as compared to countries like UK or US or Germany, which have a very long history of urbanization and medicine. And what UAE has achieved in the last 40 years is just mind-boggling. It's next to impossible to do what UAE has done. And clinics like Neuropedia, which caters to a very niche specialty, very high super specialty, is the need of the hour. We have a lot of general hospitals. We have hospitals in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Al Ain, who cater to this general medicine and the primary care and secondary care. What we need now is clinics like Neuropedia to cater to a very specific area, because that will bring about more experience, that will bring about more academic input, more research, and you will specialize in a particular area. And people from across the region and maybe across the world would come to you to seek help in that area. And along with that, we need to focus on academic and research work, as I said earlier. And how we do that is by building your expertise in this area, in that small area that we look at. In the case of Neuropedia, it's children's brain that we deal with.
Doctor, Neuropedia, this place is very special for the children. So the idea to open the clinic, from where exactly?
Right, so going back 2012, I used to come down from UK to do visiting clinics here. So I used to come every 2 months, and I do a week of clinic in a hospital here. And I used to see that at that point of time, the services were not there. It was lacking the neuroscience services. And even if we had specialists, like one sitting in a hospital, the other one in another center, the third one in a clinic, you didn't have a holistic care. And that brought about the idea where I thought, there are so many patients over here, so many children who need help, but they have to move from one place to another to seek different kind of help. For example, they have to see a neurologist in one hospital, physiotherapist in a second, psychologist in a third one, and there is no communication between these individuals. So that's where we thought, why not bring everything under one roof so the child can come and get access to all these services under one roof. And that's where the concept of Neuropedia came in. Dr. Arif again. I'm going to talk today about self-esteem in children. Children start developing their sense of self or individuality in their infancy when they start seeing themselves through their parents' eyes. Everything that you might think may be irrelevant, like tone of your voice, body language, and expressions, are keenly absorbed by them. Your words and action influence their self-esteem. So try and praise their accomplishments to make them feel proud. Give them independence to make them feel responsible and strong. And remember not to compare them with other children or even with their own siblings. This leads to a feeling of worthlessness and low self-esteem. And it's sometimes very difficult to come out of this. Avoid comments like, what a stupid thing to do, or don't act like a baby, or look at your brother and learn from him. I'm sure we use this a lot in day-to-day interaction with our children. These are like physical blows, and the effect of this builds up in a negative way. Essentially, you need to make sure that they realize that everyone makes mistakes. And making mistakes is not wrong. Not learning from your mistakes is. You need to make sure that they know that you love them, no matter what. Although at times you may not like their behavior at a given moment. It's easy to say sometimes, but very difficult to follow. So we need to train ourselves to change the way we interact with our children. Self-esteem, remember, stay safe and look after others around you. Bye-bye.
So, doctor, from your position like a founder and the medical director of the clinic, the strategy of work is very important to have this good strategy with a good team, with a good doctor. So how you use it? How you try to be in good level of service, healthy care for the children?
Yeah. When we started, Dora, looking at the clinic and establishing it, the two key principles we had, the two key points of interest we had was to pick the right people, and people make your service. It's not the kind of clinic you have or the equipment you have, it's the people, the professionals. And two, having a very robust foundation in terms of policies, how you set your standards to begin with. And we very stringently and very strongly, we adhere to these two areas, picking up the right people and building up structure and strategies in the beginning. So I had a partner whose name is Dr. Aman Sohal, who's also a pediatric neurologist, who joined with me. We got the right individuals in the operations, we got the right people in HR, and we started recruiting people from the UK, from the local kind of pool of individuals. There are a lot of experts in Dubai itself who just need a good place to practice their skills. And we brought that together to develop a team. And we started off having about 13 clinicians and therapists in this clinic in 2017-18, and now we have close to 60 professionals that provide services to children here.
So, doctor, you use the social media in another way. You use the Instagram to give all parents some advice for their children. The idea to open this door of the social media.
I think I have to be honest, and I'll tell you what happened. So when the COVID hit us, I was probably the first ones to get COVID anyway. In those days, 3 years ago, if as a medical person I have COVID, I have to wait for 2 negative results before I come out. I ended up being in my room for 25 days, closed with my family downstairs. I was upstairs in my bedroom 25 days. And I've never done this. I've never stayed away from work for even more than a week. So I thought about doing something in those 25 days. And I built up literature. I looked at literature. I built up my scripts. And I started doing videos. And I thought there's no other better way of reaching out to your people, your parents, your children, other than social media, because that's what's happening nowadays. So I got onto Instagram. And my Instagram account is on for now last 2 years, a number of followers, and these parents, they write back to me saying how much they benefit from those very short videos of tips and ideas and concepts that I give there. And if there is any new update, any new information that comes in the field of medicine, and I tend to put it out there. Any conferences that I attend, any lectures that I give, that's like a portal of information for people as well. So it's that's dr.arif.khan. If some of your audiences want to go and have a look at that, they can surely do that.
So, Dr. Arif, today from the side of administration or can say the side of business, from this clinic and the side of like a doctor, medical side, you have this responsibility. Today, if I ask you about your future plan for the two sides, what's exactly?
When we started, so I'm setting up short goals at the moment. When I started off, I didn't have a long-term goal, to be frank. I started off by saying, let's build up Neuropedia in Dubai and let's make it the best possible neuroscience clinic in the region and something that is setting a standard for others. And we achieved it in 3 or 4 years. And once we achieved it, we were financially more stable. We decided to provide the services to Northern Emirates and Sharjah because we have a lot of patients coming down from Fujairah or Al Quwain to Dubai to access those services. And opening a center in Sharjah cuts their travel time by at least 40 minutes. So we opened Sharjah this year in June, and it's in the Sahara Healthcare City on the 7th floor. And now we have patients building up there, and they're benefiting from that service there as well now.
Doctor, you have some competition in the medical business?
Competition is always there because there are so many psychologists, there are so many pediatric neurologists, there are so many physiotherapists, but I've never looked at competition as competition because if I provide my best and honest service, you will be successful. And people think that two teams or two organizations cannot be successful at the same time. They can. So you can have one Neuropedia here and another organization that's providing the same service somewhere else, both being successful because there is so much demand for this. So I've never competed, or Neuropedia has never competed with anybody. We have always looked to aim at our standards. We want to be better than what we were 1 year back. And that's how we move forward, rather than looking at someone else.
From your experience, doctor, how you see the success? What means from your side?
What is success? For me, success is once a patient comes to my clinic and goes out smiling, the child, and parents writing back to me saying, thank you, that's success. Yeah. And the more often you do that, you're being more successful. That's what I come to know. So when I started off, we had in my clinic in a day, I used to see 5 or 6 patients. It was early days. But today I have 25 to 30 patients coming every day just to my clinic. And at least if half of them I can treat them and they are happy with and satisfied with the services that we get, that's my success.
Dr. Arif, today you are example for many persons that have this dream to be in UAE and to write or create a good name. So from your side, we need this motivation message for the new generation of doctors.
Since I have been here in 2015, a number of doctors, at least in my specialties, have come in and they have joined many hospitals to build up a service. And this message I want to give to not just pediatric neurologists or children or adults or professionals looking at neuroscience. I'm giving this message for any young doctor or any young specialist that wants to come to Dubai. I don't think so there is a better place to come and pursue your dreams and build and look for your vision than UAE. And I can say, at least for Dubai, my journey over the last 7 years has been just fantastic. There are definitely no regrets. Yes, when I started off for the first year, when we were building Neuropedia and commissioning it, there were some hurdles, but that is always there in business. But those hurdles taught me a lot of lessons. And now Neuropedia is a successful organization and providing services to a lot of children. And there are so many other opportunities. We have networked with many other hospitals around, and they're coming to us to say, why don't we collaborate? Why don't we build this into a bigger network, providing services to a much larger population? So if you're looking for something different, if you're looking for something unique, and you're motivated and passionate about what you do, I think UAE is the place for you to come and get your skills and expertise out here.
So, doctor, you have some message or some words for the parent directly from your side?
Parents in UAE, we have a population of nearly 10 million people. And you can imagine at least 1.52 million children in this country who are below 16 years of age. Over the years, as I've seen Dubai grow from 70s to now, I know that there is a lot of stigma and a lot of judgment attached to kids who have neurological or neuropsychological problems, maybe epilepsy or autism or cerebral palsy. But things are changing. I've seen that Dubai or UAE has evolved in the last 40 years in a way that inclusion and acceptance of cases like this, of children who have these problems, has really become big. So one message for parents would be, if you think your child has a symptom, or if you think your child is delayed in any way or form, there is no benefit in waiting. Get them seen by the right expert, whether it's a pediatric neurologist or your local pediatrician, so that the diagnosis can be made early. As I always tell every parent, your child's best potential to improve their brain's ability is between 2 to 4 years of age. And if you miss that period, you would regret that in the future. So if you're concerned about any delay or a symptom, get to your doctor as soon as possible. Thank you.
Dr. UAE, it's your home, I think so, or your successful story, it will be here in this country. So your message now for this country, for the government, for the opportunity of UAE and for the leaders.
Absolutely. I can't thank you enough. The rulers of Dubai, the rulers of UAE, in fact, who have created such a nice environment for healthcare to flourish. I have seen Dubai and UAE in the 70s and 80s, and I'm seeing it now. So probably I'm the best person to tell you how things have changed over time. So I would like to thank the rulers. I would like to thank the system that has been put into place by the government and by the rulers in Dubai, which makes it easy for entrepreneurs, for doctors, for businessmen like me to come here and use their expertise and skills to deliver the service. And I always felt supported at every stage of commissioning Neuropedia, and even today when I hear back from facilities like the Dubai Health Authority or the Ministry of Health I just get positive feedback from them, and I always get supported from every individual in the hierarchy of these authorities. So I would like to thank the rulers again, and the people of Dubai and UAE for that matter, to accept us and to trust us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arif Khan. We are so happy to meet you today. Like a great example of doctor, great example of a businessman also in UAE. Wish you all the best, doctor.
Thank you, Dora. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, everyone. See you next week with Pearls of Funeral program. Bye-bye.